Hello everyone, I'm Ulysses Elnas and studied at Foundation University College of Education, and for today's video, I'm going to make a vlog about sharing my opinions and also the reflections about the participants' statement of what prejudice is all about. So let me introduce the four participants. The Ratunati is from Indonesia, Yuriko is from Japan, Judith from United Kingdom, and Raul from the Philippines. So, United States of America gathered these four participants for a debate about the rules of prejudice and was held on 1950s as mentioned. So, what is prejudice? What prejudice means? Prejudice is a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experiences that can be liking or disliking for one another than another special without a good reason. So let's talk about the opinions of each participants. First, we have the Indonesia, who is Ratunati. His opinion on prejudice is a feeling of hate for a people as a group or as an individual to other people. So the second is Yuriko from Japan. The opinion of Yuriko is that he found that if somebody distinguishes between white men, it is not prejudice. But if somebody distinguishes between a white man and a colored man, it is prejudice. So let's go to the opinion of Judith from United Kingdom. Judith defined prejudice as a rigid opinion formed about a certain things before there has been a just examination of a facts. Lastly is Raul from Philippines. So when a person loses track of the dignity of human soul and begins to judge other on the basis of their being persons, but on the basis of race, creed, and economic status. So that is the opinion of Raul of what is meant by prejudice. So everyone has a own and excellent opinion of what prejudice means, and all of them define that prejudice is a judgment, feelings, and opinion, and without examining the truth or the facts. So the explanation behind the thought of the Indonesia is that prejudice is a feeling of hateness. Well, in my case, I exactly agree because we can't reject someone if we doesn't like them or we hate them as usual. So then from Japan, the explanation behind it is that she basically gives an instant that the discrimination of prejudice is that when someone distinguishes the white man and the colored man, basically discrimination is the definition of her. So from United Kingdom, they give a different definition with different meanings. Basically, they give us clearly and understandable definition with the Philippines, and we can reflect it within ourselves. So, do you have the second question is, do you have any prejudice? So, according to this participants, Japan answered, many Japanese people hate Korea because the president of Korea made the line his own line on the public sea between Korea and Japan, and if the Japanese fishermen go over the line, they are caught by Korean people and they can't go home for a while. So in the United Kingdom, for instance, as soon as I have me, a person with hair, I would put myself into guard because I have silly prejudice that all red-headed people have a terrible tempers, as they are passionate and as the color of their hairs. So according from the Philippines, who is Raul, being brutally frank, prejudice against the Japanese will not to be extent of that I hate them. No, not that way, but as what I got this will as a result of World War II, because I guess I was yet too young to understand of what happened during those times. So, but I think what my relatives, friends, and people who witnessed to that unfaithful occasions, well, they just more than justified the fact, and I think I justify for me to feel the same way because I know my people suffer so much under the occasion. So basically, my explanation is that only not the Philippines have encountered the colonialization, but within also in the Japan and Korea. All of them clearly answered and give specific idea of the watcher. Well, Raul from Philippines linked prejudice based on what his country experienced. So that's all. Thank you for watching and